Hey everybody, welcome along to the webinar. It really is great to be here today. My name is Paul Gough and I'm excited to share with you the 7 key systems training. This is how I use Infusionsoft to grow my physical therapy business without having to be there every single day. So we are expecting a full house. We're going to get going very quickly. I have a lot to share with you today. This is one of the most important trainings that I ever give because systems are often now the difference that makes the difference between business owners who are working way too hard and business owners who are growing their practice with a lot more ease. So let's dig in. I'm going to talk to you about Infusionsoft and I'm going to talk to you about the systems that I use that are powered by Infusionsoft. This will be another packed training. Like I said, a lot of people interested in this type of thing now. A lot of people interested in Infusionsoft. This is not just about Infusionsoft. This is how I create the systems that get powered by Infusionsoft that grow my business. So I'm going to talk to you about both of those things, and it's a genuine training. You will learn a lot about the systems that I use as we spend this time together today. So let's make sure that this is right for you. It's for you if you want to spend more time being an owner of a business and less time being a therapist. You would like to position yourself out of the business, but still take home a nice big paycheck each month. You want to set up systems in your business that means you can run your business from anywhere in the world. You plan on growing by opening more locations and want to know how to do it with ease. You want to spend more time with your family. This was the big one for me, but still make the same money. You want to find more time to over-deliver on customer and clinical care. I call it growth by streamlining operations. Systems are not about eradicating people from a business, although that is what a lot of people think that systems do. It means you can operate with less staff. Now, you can if that's what you choose to do. For me, it became more about finding time in the business. And if we can find time in the business, we can give it back to the people that we want to take care of, our patients. So not just in terms of the customer service on the front end, but also in terms of the clinical care. Time is the biggest, most precious asset on earth. People value it more than anything, and if you give them more time and it feels like you've created an experience in your business that affords them the time that they need to get comfortable and to make decisions about coming to see you, they will pay for it. It is the most underestimated thing in business. Time. It is the biggest asset that that you have, and systems allow you to find more time in your business while over delivering on customer service, and that is often the difference that makes the difference. You are an experienced clinic owner looking for new ways to grow your practice, then this is for you. You're new to business, you have big plans to be ultra successful with a chain of clinics that have your name above the door. I love it. You're ambitious. I love to work with ambitious people. You are a great physical therapist, you have incredible skills, and now you want to become an even more successful business owner, because there is a difference. There are a lot of great PTs out there, there are a lot of people with great skills as a technician or a practitioner, and yet not as successful in business as they would like to be. And for a lot of people, it's simply because they're working on the wrong things. And if you set these types of systems up, it becomes very easy for you to continue to be that great practitioner if you want, knowing that your business is growing in the background. Alternatively, if you just want to spend more time on being the owner of a business, then leveraging these types of systems as well will help you to do that. A lot of people on the call today, on the training call today, because they've heard about Infusionsoft. It's a phenomenal piece of technology. People use it all across the world. You've probably heard about it. A lot of PTs are using it right now, and you want to see if it lives up to the hype. Why wouldn't you? Okay, if you're thinking about investing in Infusionsoft, it's important to know what the hell it can actually do, and crucially, how to use it. All right, I'm going to teach you why you need to use it, and I'm going to show you how to use it today as well. So here's what you're going to learn. You will learn the 7 most important systems of every successful PT clinic and how Infusionsoft can be used to drive those systems for you. The 7 most critical automation aspects of my business that have helped me grow from 1 to 4 with ease, and how I've used Infusionsoft to help literally thousands of people in my community to make better decisions about their health and ultimately to live more healthy and active lives. I'll talk to you about the major challenges to growing a physical therapy practice and how I use Infusionsoft to overcome each one, and precisely what to do to successfully grow a PT clinic on autopilot and without you having to work so hard, and the role that Infusionsoft can play in that. It's not just me that's been successful with Infusionsoft. I'm going to talk to you about one or two other PTs around the world who use it, and the exact systems that I'm going to teach you today to grow their practice with ease. Plus, you're going to learn how I became a global award-winning Infusionsoft user despite it being confusing, which is what a lot of people say, completely not true, and me being a complete dummy when I first started using it. So I think very quickly we need to dispel the myth, the confusing aspect of Infusionsoft. The thing that's confusing about a software technology like this is not the actual technology. People are confused about how to actually get the best from it. That's what is confusing, not the technology. So that's not the technology's fault. That is trying to get an answer from somebody without asking them the question that will solve the problem that you need to know. So it's input in, input out. These types of softwares are labeled as confusing quite simply because the person who labeled it as confusing didn't know what he actually wanted to achieve from it. Big difference, okay? So much of what this webinar is about today, it will absolutely dispel the myth that Infusionsoft is confusing, and it will show you how to get the best from it, okay? The technical aspect of it is very easy. The reason that people don't get the best from something like this is because they don't know what the hell they want from something like this. So I'm going to solve that problem for you today, and it confuses me that people think it's confusing because it really isn't. And I can tell you in full disclosure that I am a complete tech dummy, okay? You do not need to be a tech whiz to learn how to do this. In fact, my Infusionsoft trainer, when I first ordered and invested in Infusionsoft a couple of years ago, still tells the story to this day about how I was probably one of the worst students that he ever had. I literally just did not get it at the beginning of time, and obviously now as it's rolled on, I've spent time learning and paid people to teach me how to learn it. I went on to win this award in front of 45,000 people. I beat 45,000 global users around the world to the Small Business Icon Award for lead nurture and conversion, which basically confirmed me as an expert, if you like, in Infusionsoft, certainly in their eyes. But at the beginning of time, I can promise you I knew very little about how the technology actually worked. And the message in that is you really don't. You just need to understand what you want from it. And if you understand what you want from it, you ask it the right questions, you will get the right answers. If you order something like Infusionsoft without knowing why you're ordering it and you just think that it's going to change your business, it really won't. So the purpose of this training today is to clear up the confusion, to talk to you about what you need from Infusionsoft, and then if you are ready to get it, you will know exactly how to make it work for your business. So why is it important to you now? Times have changed. The old-fashioned ways of building businesses using manual labor are absolutely dead. More fool any business owner today who will not take the time to reinvest a week or two or however long it takes to make these systems work in their business, or the financial funds, whatever. If you're always expending energy and you're always wasting time on doing tasks that can be systematized, then it really isn't anybody else's fault. So hats off to you for joining this training today to learn how to move away from manual labor to more towards a systematized business. I have a great saying that sums up probably 99% of business owners. Even if you have been in business for 25 years, or even if most businesses who have been in business for 25 years, they've only ever actually been in business for 1 year. That is true of most businesses. They haven't been in business for 25 years. They've been in business for 1 year, 25 times, meaning they do the same thing week after week, day after day, year after year, and nothing changes. And they wonder why their profits don't change, or their energy levels don't change, or their stress levels keep going up. It's because they're doing the same thing day after day after day, hoping it's going to change without actually doing anything or making a decision to learn how to actually make that change. So recent healthcare changes. There's most definitely now a stress-ridden PT industry. A lot of owners stuck in the rat race, working too hard, doing the same thing day in, day out. A genuine competitive edge is vital for success in this competitive healthcare economy. We know that physio clinics are opening up everywhere. There are more people coming out of school now, opening up their own practices. There are literally huge corporations buying out practices and opening up more. So we need a competitive edge, and it won't necessarily be in the skill set that you have, because most people, and probably everybody on this call right now, will have enough skills to be successful. What they won't have is the systems to leverage those skills and to really make the most of them. So systems and automation can give you that. Doctors are getting harder to reach. Obviously, the primary source for the lot of referrals for the way that the profession was built. But marketing automation has arrived, and I'm going to show you how Infusionsoft and marketing automation play in tandem, so that you can grow your business without needing any referrals from doctors. So make sure you stay right to the end for the marketing automation aspect of this training, because it's pretty cool in the way that I use these two together. Costs are rising. We know that. A huge problem. So value alignment through automated systems helps you to overcome that. The cost and the patient's contribution, so whether you're dealing with self-pay, private pay, excess deductibles, whatever you want to call it, look, it's just a label. Ultimately, it means that the patient has to pay more now to access your services, and they need to feel something called value alignment, and we can use systems to do that. Value alignment will trump most problems. If people know what they're paying for and what they're getting, the cost of it really isn't an issue. So value alignment will help you to overcome these problems as well. So patients expect more, they're paying more. Again, more fool anybody who is still trying to give the same service and experience to their patients as they were 5 years ago, when the cost of doing business with you is probably 20% of what it is today. The costs are astronomical now in comparison to what they were a few years ago, and they ain't going to go down. They're only going to go up. So using systems to create this, what I call an unrivaled new patient journey experience, is the way to go. So quick introduction to me. I'm sure a lot of you who are on this training right now are probably coming via my podcast, or you've read my emails or follow me on social, but just in case you don't, and you don't really know who I am, I'm a published author, published a book called The Healthy Habit. I'm a former professional soccer physical therapist. I spent 5 years working with professional soccer players. And now I'm a multi-clinic physical therapy owner from the UK with 18 staff and a clinic that has over 2,000 visits a month. 80% of them are cash or private pay, coming into my business via the direct marketing that we do, greatly aided by Infusionsoft and the automation that we do to move patients along the journey towards becoming one of our clients. There's one of my offices, and that little window that you can see above my name is exactly where I am speaking to you from right now. There's me in my early years on the pitch as a physio. There's my book. And this is my favorite role. I'm the very proud daddy to two beautiful little boys, Harry and Tobias. If you ever need justification for finding more time in your life, it certainly happened to me when kids came along. I just started to obsess over how can I get more stuff done without me having to be there every single day. So as I said, I'm a winner of the Infusionsoft Award, Small Business Icon, Best in Class for Lead Nurture and Conversion Systems. So what I'm about to teach you, the relevance of that for you is that I figured this stuff out. It took me a couple of years, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of investment to learn how to use Infusionsoft. Remember, that's the key. It is not confusing. The only thing that gets confusing is if you don't know why you want to use it or what you want to get from it. The purpose of this training today is to teach you what you can get from Infusionsoft and to help you make a better decision on whether or not it's right for you. So let's move on. So some house cleaning: turn off your cell phone and close down your internet browsers. Have a pen and paper handy to take notes, because I'm going to share with you a lot about systems, and focus 100% for the next 60 to 75 minutes on the material that I'll be teaching you. This is a teaching webinar. You are going to learn a lot. Remember, I said the goal is not to teach you about Infusionsoft. It's to teach you about systems, the systems that you need in your business, and then how Infusionsoft can power and support those systems for you. So the agenda, my story and how creating systems that leverage automation changed my life, really has been an incredible journey. I'm going to share with you some case studies of other PTs who've also had their practice changed. It's important for you to know it's not just me. Other people have invested in these systems and are doing incredibly well as a result. The 7 systems powered by Infusionsoft and why each one is important to your success. plus how to get these systems in place and working for you at your practice within 30 days with the help of my team and Infusionsoft. So make sure you stay right till the end. I'm going to talk to you about if you do want to go ahead with Infusionsoft and you want some help with it because you just realize now that it isn't confusing and these types of systems would make a difference to your business. I'll share with you at the end how you can have that done for you and pretty much get everything in place that you're about to see in place within 30 days in your business. So stay tuned for that. We have a couple of openings for people that we can help. So I started my career as a pro soccer physio. That's what I did when I first started out and when I left school. And then I started the Paul Gough Physio Rooms in 2007. Got off to a good start, but these things don't always go the exact way that you want it to. Things turned pretty bad when the recession hit. Insurance companies started to cut my reimbursement fees. They slashed them, quite literally, often as much as 50% and sometimes overnight without any warning. So these insurance companies, they were dictating my life. I felt I had no choice but to figure out a better way to grow my business. So I set about studying something called education-based marketing or value-based marketing. And it works like crazy. It brings people to my practice all day and all night. And it absolutely exploded in my business very quickly. We grew by 413% in less than 13 months. So the next problem I had was this. A lot of ideas. I was building my patient database. We had people coming through the door, and I was at a completely new level of success in my business. But pretty soon, my momentum fizzled, and I felt like something was missing. I was most definitely right, because the one thing that I needed in my business was something to control the chaos. I thought winging it without any clear direction was a perfectly fine way to build a physical therapy business. After all, most people in our industry do it, and it was working well enough. I was making a profit, I was acquiring new patients, and I was growing. So I assumed that I was doing something right. But then one day I realized I was actually caught up in the rat race. Do you ever feel as though you're caught up in the rat race? What is it? It's a way of life in which I was trapped in a fiercely competitive struggle for more success, more recognition, and more money. And I had very little time left over for personal happiness or satisfaction. I was in a no-win situation, because even if I did win the rat race, it would only mean that I'd be crowned king of the rats. And I didn't go to school to come out and be crowned king rat. I discovered that my business had become an unorganized, unscalable mess. And all that was adding to the stress-related heart problems I was previously diagnosed with at the age of 31. So it's a true story. Age 31, I was taken to the Dr. Phillips Hospital in Orlando, suffering with what I believed to be at the time was a suspected heart attack. I was later diagnosed with a stress-related problem that doesn't allow me to work any harder than is absolutely necessary. And if I do, my chest, my heart, my palpitations, the pain that I will get in the side of my chest, and just generally how I feel and the energy that I live with isn't good in any way, shape or form. So I had to do something. I figured out that I can put the time and effort in, but I can't ever get to the point of worrying or feeling overwhelmed, because if I do, my heart is in trouble. And I've been warned by doctors that not only later that same day will I know about it, but certainly in a few years further down the line, I will be in serious trouble. So I had to learn new ways of being a business owner and doing the thing that I absolutely love, which is to work and to serve my patients and to help my staff to grow as people and ultimately to build a profitable business. So during this time, this phase of my life, I began to ask a lot of questions. Why do we business owners let things get so bad that it affects our health? And why do we wait until we realize we've missed out on so many things with our family before we do something about it by stepping away from the daily grind of our business? Well, we do it simply because we're afraid that our business will fail without us being there all day, every day. However, I can tell you that that's not an accurate representation of reality. Businesses do not fail because an owner isn't there. Businesses fail, please write this down. Businesses fail because of what the owner doesn't do when he or she is there. Big, significant difference. Your business will not crumble when you walk away from it because you've walked away from it. It is more likely to crumble and fail because of what you don't do when you are there. It's massive. So looking back, the number one reason I was struggling to deal with the chaos was because of a lack of systems at my practice. And when I realized this, it was hard to accept that to grow my business and remain healthy, I would have to let go. It made me feel vulnerable, insecure, and fearful that the other people I employ would not provide the same high quality of care and service as I would. Looking back, I got it dead wrong. And since those crazy days, I've learned systematic ways for embracing and driving more sustainable growth at the Paul Gough Physio Rooms. I've now got 18 staff running the systems of the business for me. I've come out the other side with a much more profitable, hassle-free business, and I can tell you that my life is a lot easier. In the last 3 years, I've created systems in my business that means my business runs like clockwork, whether I'm in the country or not. That means no more working harder than I absolutely have to, and no more rat race for me. Best of all, no more missing out on family time or feeling like I can't go somewhere or do something just in case something happens back at the business that only I can deal with. Those days are long gone. I've learned how to spend more time with my family and yet make more money, grow and scale my practice successfully without having to be there, have my name above the door, but have others do the work for me, streamline operations so that we can spend more time with our patients, meaning we get way better results than our competition. I've learned how to open more locations with ease, since opened 3 more clinics, and how to get my business into a position that if I wanted to, I could one day sell it for a nice 7-figure sum. So I found time to begin to write a second book, started a second business in helping great PTs become successful business owners. I've reinvested in real estate. I've got properties now, and I started a lucrative speaking career teaching business owners and these systems all across the world. Even better, I formed new friendships with PTs from all across the world. There might be some faces on there. I've met some of the most amazing people, from Jared Carter to Jerry Durham to Andrew Verton to Steady McGee, Aaron LeBauer, Karen Litzy, all over the world, from Phoenix to LA to North Carolina, business owners from Australia, all across the UK, all as a result of the freedom that I now have thanks to the systems that I've put into my business that I'm about to start to teach you. I get to travel. Last year I did 22 weeks of the year on the road, not necessarily on a beach, but doing other things in business with my young family. They come with me everywhere. That's me, Natalie, and Harry on the way to Australia in Disneyland. We went to see President Obama at the time. My sister used to live in San Diego, so we went out there. That's Harry. Philadelphia to see Rocky, to New York, over in Phoenix to Hollywood, and back across to Florida with my kids. So these days I work less but make more without bumbling and fumbling through the process of growing a business. And I finally realized that the more systems I have in my business, the easier it is for me to position myself out of the business and have others do the work for me. The personal satisfaction I get from owning a successful business that helps people live active and healthy lives is the justification for the work that it takes. And the long periods of time I get to spend with Harry and Tobias and my family doing what we want, when we want, that is the reward. I'm going to show you that again. The satisfaction I get from owning a successful business that helps people live active and healthy lives is the justification for the work. But the reward is the long periods of time that I get to spend with my family. Big difference. So it gets better. I'm not the only PT who has benefited from using Infusionsoft and employing these types of systems you are about to learn. I've since helped hundreds of PTs from around the world find success with Infusionsoft and these systems, including Andrew Verton from California. Andrew is a very well-known PT with now a hugely successful practice, and within 10 months of using these systems was able to grow by 30% in California, a state where there's been huge cutbacks in insurance reimbursement. So Andrew had to find more time and to streamline his operations to keep his profits as high as he wants them to be. But even better, he's able to spend 4 days a week now. He can pick up his girls, started a second business, something that's been a dream of his. And he quotes, "I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without these types of systems." Oliver's a solo practitioner from Restore PT over in Michigan, Rochester Hills, just outside of Detroit. 3 months of using Infusionsoft and these systems doubled the number of appointments at my practice, and he's been able to hire a secretary, meaning he does less of the paperwork and more time to spend at home with family. He's looking to grow his business again, and a lot of it's thanks to these systems. Scott Gilbert from Canyon PT in Arizona, using Infusionsoft and these systems, already getting to the point we don't have to do any physician marketing. He employs and deploys a lot of the automation marketing I'm going to teach you in just a few moments. In the beginning, Scott was 80% reliant upon doctors and 20% patients from direct access. But because of automated marketing and this system that you will about to learn, Scott's been able to flip that. And these days, he's more about patients coming to him, self-referrals and self-pay, rather than relying upon doctors, which is great. So let's get into the 7 key systems. So most business owners have no real systems. What they have is a system of sorts that is usually kept in the owner's head. Why? Because when they started out in business, the systems simply weren't needed. And most never expected to grow so big, or back then, didn't dare to dream this big. So in the beginning, it's all about just getting going and making a profit and just getting your head above water, that you never really think that in 5 years or 10 years, you might get to the point of becoming a very successful business owner who wants to employ more people or open more offices or just scale your operation from wherever it is now. In the beginning, it's just all about survival. So most businesses don't know that they're ever going to need systems. And that's a problem that a lot run into sort of 2, 3, 4 years down the line. They literally hit a wall and can't scale past it, can't get past it. So what's the system anyway? It's how you do the work of your business. Stuff like how you welcome new patients to the clinic, how to keep in touch with patients long after their care ends, how to offer other products and services, upsells as they're more routinely known as, how you get new self-pay cash patients using direct marketing, how you track your numbers, how you train your staff, how you get great testimonials online, and how you reactivate patients and ask for referrals. All of these things can be done with systems in Infusionsoft. Systems can help you build something bigger that you still run, but you don't have to work so hard in anymore. At a minimum, systems will help you stop doing the stuff you don't like and get back to serving patients better, doing the stuff that you love. So next, let's consider the definition of automation. It's the use of technology or software like Infusionsoft to make important processes happen the same way every single time. Automation does not mean that you're trying to cut out humans from your business. You're trying to cut out their mistakes or their failings. Big, big difference. The biggest frustration in business when you've taught somebody to do something and then they go ahead and make the mistake again the next day. The great thing with systems, they very rarely, if ever, screw up. So we're not trying to replace humans. We're just trying to replace the mistakes and the failings that happen in most businesses. So it's about the humans in your business leveraging automation so that more things get done right every single time, whether you are there or not. So key Infusionsoft system number 1. Here we go, of the 7. This is something that I call the value added welcome system. What is it? Well, simply, it's what we do to make the patient feel special and welcome before they even arrive at our practice. It helps us to give them a clear understanding of what they're really paying for before they are asked to pay for it. Because at my clinic, they're not just paying for physical therapy. We like to provide an experience. We like to be judged on the experience that we provide for people, the time that we give to people, the decision that we help them make. We like to brighten the day and have some fun with people, and we want them to judge us on that, not just a PT. A problem that a lot of businesses are running into in our profession is that they are a commodity. They have people calling up and asking the price and then looking for somebody cheaper, or cancelling appointments because they found somebody cheaper halfway through the care plan. That's because you've let them judge you on the PT. Okay, now there are hundreds of thousands of PTs around the world, so the game becomes, how do we get them to judge them on something else? How do we get them to judge us for something else? So in my clinic, we are being judged on the people of the business and the experience that we provide and how we make people feel in terms of how special they feel when they enter our world, not just on how well we recovered their ankle or their knee. When you hear it like that, it's pretty dreadful. When you want to be judged on the outcome of a knee pain or a back pain, anybody can do that. What's important is that they judge you on something that nobody else is providing, which is the experience and how you make them feel as a result of doing business with you. So the value-added welcome system helps us to do that. How we do it, here's a quick example from day 1. Patients are entered into a simple web form, which I'll show you in a moment, that's connected to Infusionsoft. They can be sent a sequence of emails telling them more about our practice. We get to reinforce our USP, which is what our unique serving proposition is, and explain who we help and how. So when we communicate with people who we help, so we say, hey, somebody just like you comes to see us every single day, they become part of our community. They feel more part of a community. They feel as though they're part of a tribe of people just like them, rather than going to a PT clinic. Again, when you hear it, doesn't it sound a lot better? Would you prefer to be part of a community of people like you, or to go to a physical therapy clinic? And we also educate them on how we will help them, okay? We talk to them about the why and the how and what we will do for them before they even arrive, so that there's no fear about giving us their money, no fear about giving us their time. We're educating them before they even arrive, because it makes this wonderful thing called a prescription of care a lot easier for the therapist come the day of evaluation. So when we have to look them in the eye and we have to sit down and say, hey, you need 9 sessions or 12 sessions to solve this problem, it becomes a lot easier because we've already helped them to understand what they're going to get from us before we come along and tell them. These prescription of care sessions, you know, that 1 hour that you have with the patient, you think that they're listening to everything, and they're not. Human beings can only take in 7% of the verbal message. Probably cut that in half, given that our patients are actually in a lot of pain, stress, worry, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in that first session. That's the irony. Towards the end, when you've got that incredible relationship with them, they're hearing more about what you're telling them because they're not as closed off, because they're not in as much pain or worry. So at the start, you've got to do everything that you can to open them up, to get them to feel relaxed, to get them to feel comfortable, to have already read or heard something that you repeat in the prescription, because now all of a sudden it feels familiar. How do you get trust? Familiarity. Familiarity breeds trust. So the purpose of the value-added welcome system is to build trust already into the relationship before they start to even get to the practice. So we put them at ease with videos and information that confirms they made the right decision. We don't want buyer's remorse when they arrive at my practice, and because they've been further informed and enlightened, patients show up warm and are happy to say yes at much higher prices than anybody else around here. So most clinics, the patients show up with nothing but a bunch of insurance forms and questions about how much it'll all cost. We eradicate all of that before they arrive, okay? They are just showing up. They cannot wait. They are excited to see us. We've got them excited. We've given them the warm, fuzzy feeling. And all thanks to the system that does it, and the content and the material that we put into the system, powered by Infusionsoft. I call it giving the patients the warm, fuzzy feeling before we exchange expertise for cash. All right. If we stay in the you will be judged on expertise, you will be beat. Somebody will come around the corner who'll do the same expertise for cheaper. So you can't stay in that model. Not anymore. There are too many options for these patients, and we've got to move into a whole new model of running a business, the experiential model of running a business, and using systems to provide that experience. So here's an example of what we do. So we use Infusionsoft. It sends them an email that says, hey, welcome to the clinic. You're now a member of our practice, a keyword member. We email out again within 24 hours of them booking this appointment. So they haven't been in to the practice yet. And they get an email with the subject line, do I have to take my clothes off? Now, that's the video that they get. Thousands of people now have watched that video, and it tells us true story. As you can see, the email, hi, contact name, it's Paul here again. Please, let me continue to welcome you to my clinic. What I want to do today is make sure you saw this video. And it's a video, that's 3 of my staff, and one of them in the middle, Vicky, came to see me as a patient. Now, this was 7-8 years ago. She's now the manager of my business. She walked into my treatment room with a shoulder problem, didn't really understand, what physio was. I wasn't doing any of this stuff back then. She came in, and I took for granted that she knew the procedure. So she asked me the question, do I have to take my clothes off? Now, I was walking out of the room. This is a true story. I was walking out of the room to get something, and I said no. She obviously didn't hear me. I left the room. I came back in, and she was in the middle of taking her clothes off. Okay, pretty routine for most, patients and therapists. Patients sometimes have to take clothes off in front of you. We all know that. What the story that unfolded was, obviously, as I walked back in, I said, no, you don't need to take your clothes off, blah, blah, blah. Vicky was very embarrassed. Even more embarrassed that within a couple of weeks, I'd offer her a job at my practice. And, obviously that kind of relationship all of a sudden then became she almost took her clothes off in front of her boss. Now, that is a completely different thing altogether. So what happened was, when Vicky got the job, she started to tell patients this story, that she came to see me and she didn't really understand what was going on, and she almost took her clothes off in front of me. And patients thought it was hysterical. Patients loved it. They found it hilarious, and it really put them at ease. So I continued to encourage Vicky to tell that story more often, and then we realized there was a better way than to do it when they arrived. Let's tell it to them before they arrive. So now we use Infusionsoft to send them this email and to ask them to watch this video. And as well as answering the question, do you have to take your clothes off, which is a very common question that even if they don't ask it, they want to know the answer to it. We answer some other FAQs of physio. So we're helping them, we're putting them at ease. We regularly get replies to this video every single day, and patients telling us that they know they've made the right decision. You know, they're already at ease, they have a laugh, they have a joke, they have a giggle, they're so happy that we sent it to them, and they will sum the whole thing up by saying, I'm glad I chose you, I know I've made the right decision. Now, bear in mind that we haven't even looked at their knee or their back yet. All that we've done is use some systems, we've used Infusionsoft to send this type of thing to make them feel warm and fuzzy about coming to see us. They are already in love with what we do because we've made them feel special and we've put them at ease. The experience game. Can you understand now how easy it would be for my physio to come along and say, hey, you need 9 sessions or you need 12 sessions and this is the fee? Because these people are warm and comfortable and familiar with us already. Now again, you can see the people on the video there. It gives my patients comfort to know who will actually be serving them and looking after them tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it will be when they arrive at their practice. So why do you need it? Well, physical therapy is what you expect or what they expect us to do. The experience is the thing that they didn't expect us to do. They did not expect that to happen. They did not expect us to have some fun and a laugh and to giggle with them before they arrive. You know, they didn't want that. They didn't expect it. They didn't ask for it, but we give it to them. And everybody wants that type of thing to happen. So we can be good at what we do in the treatment room, but if you're focusing on it, you will lose to the PT who gives you a better gives these patients a better experience. So if you're not focusing on it, we will lose to the PT around the corner who does do it. So since we started this, we get less no-shows and less resistance to care plans. And even if one of my secretaries is having a bad day, the patient still gets to experience what we're really all about as a clinic. So what I mean by that is, again, you could have a receptionist who's just had a bad day. She's not, feeling well. She's having problems at home, or he's having problems at home, or just is having an off day, because humans do. Even if that is happening and the phone doesn't get answered as well as we want it to, and we know that that influences whether or not people show up and how much they pay and whether or not they feel confident in the decision that they're about to make, the patient still gets to experience what we're really all about as a clinic. So most of these systems, all right, this is me starting to show you a little bit now about Infusionsoft. This is a web form that we use that you're looking at on the right-hand side there. And the systems are kick-started by a simple web form that looks like this. So what that is something that we make inside Infusionsoft. So my secretary there can use that web form. It sits on her computer on the desktop. She can enter the patient's name, type of client, how they found us. She can enter some a little welcome chit chat that says, hey Steve, great to talk to you today, da 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 da. Where does it hurt? Other things that we put in there just in case it isn't back pain or knee pain or whatever it'll be. How long have they suffered? Person's main concern, what stops the person from doing? Number one thing person would like to achieve. All right, booked appointment by, so we can put the Vicky's name or Becky's name in there. We can put the physio's name, we can put the clinic location, we can mail merge the time and the date. Pretty much everything that gets entered into that web form gets mail merged into an email. So within 60 seconds, they get a completely customized email to them, literally delivered in a heartbeat. And that form takes like 60 seconds for my receptionist to fill out. When the patient gets it, it looks like the email has taken 10 minutes to write. So we're saving time, but we are basically putting into that web form what they are telling us they are looking for. So it confirms to the patient very quickly that we listened, we understand it, and we know what they want to achieve. That is what drives certainty into decisions, and certainty causes people to show up, to pay confidently, and to stay on schedule. And that's what I love about Infusionsoft. There are very few, if any, of the software or the equivalent CRMs out there, the cheaper stuff that you might be considering, that lets you do this type of thing. And that is the justification, for kind of moving forward with something like Infusionsoft, because it allows you to create these are just simple web forms. You go inside, you create them, you enter their details, and the automation takes over after that. And you access it, if you're thinking, well, how do you access the web form? You create it inside your app, you get an application, you go in and you make the web form, and then you get a link, you get a URL like this, just like a web link, a web form, paulgoughphysio.com or whatever. Infusionsoft will give you the form, and I give that link to my secretaries who have it on their front desk. We have it open on our tabs, and whenever we want to go to it, we just click it, or if it's already open, obviously it's there for the staff to access. So a lot of these systems get kickstarted by these types of web forms at the beginning, and then it kickstarts all of the emails and the communication that goes out after. It's started by you, and it saves you so much time moving forward. This one system alone has significantly increased our arrival rate and completed plans of care. So before Infusionsoft, we had an 89% arrival rate, and since Infusionsoft, it's 95.5, where I was hovering around the 95% arrival rate. So 6% is a significant difference that becomes more valuable as you grow. So key Infusionsoft system number 2, something I call the win-back system. So what's the win-back system? It's a way of winning back a patient who told you no. So a lot of times it happens, 1 or 2 patients out of 10 will tell you no, not right now, can't afford it, want a cheaper option or whatever. And again, I used to think that that was a given, that just patients said no and that was it. It was done. There's nothing else that could happen until I put this system in play. This is easily one of my most profitable systems. Most patients leave a physical therapy clinic and the owner thinks that it was down to the money that the patient said no. So if you ever get pushback from copay or deductibles or costs or just halfway through a treatment plan, they tell you they found somebody cheaper, you can naturally assume that it was all about the money. Now, it isn't always about the money. Oftentimes, they'll just give you excuses because it just isn't the right time. Doesn't mean that you're not right. Doesn't mean that your price is not right. It just means that right now, in their world, it's not right. And that's the most important thing. So it's important to understand that the price might be all right next month, but this month it's a problem. Okay, good. Let's just build a system that factors that in. And when you grow and as you scale your business, this will become more of a factor. So in the beginning, as you're the only therapist or you're still heavily involved in patient care, you can control a lot of these things and you keep this stuff in your head. But as your business gets bigger and you start to expect PTs to call these people back, or you're relying solely on a physical therapist to make this call back to get them back on schedule, it ain't happening. And it's a frustration of a lot of business owners is that they expect the PT or they expect the front desk person to call these people back. And with all the will in the world, it's not going to happen. Even if they do genuinely set out that day to call the 3 people back who dropped off schedule, or you do, other stuff gets in the way. So having a system working for you means that these patients can be coming back to you while you're treating somebody else and or doing something else, because Infusionsoft is doing the hard work for you. So it's got nothing to do with the money for most people. It's a timing issue for most people, or they just weren't ready for it right now. Same thing. So they often make excited decisions at the beginning and come and see you, and the expense was the only thing that they could think of to slow the decision-making process down. So often a month or 2 later, that patient still hasn't received the care or the outcome that they needed. Nothing changed, except they now accept that they need what you do. So if they leave your care today, you think that they're going somewhere else, and most of the time they're not, because if it wasn't the right time with you, it wasn't the right time with anybody else. So nothing will have changed. Most of them will still have their chronic knee pain or back pain, but what will have gone on is they've had another 2 months to realize how valuable and the need for your service actually is. Patients are very unlikely to call you back. This is why this works. Out of their own free will, we wish they would, but they just don't. 6 to 8 weeks later, when they're still suffering with that knee pain or back pain, and they haven't got it solved, they don't call you back. If only they did, but they don't. The reason is they'll often feel silly and stupid for saying no to you a few weeks ago. They might think that you think they're tight. We live in a very judgmental world, and they may think that. It probably isn't true, but it's their perception of it that matters. And all of this is going to get in the way from them ever coming back to see you, even though they want to and need to. So I have a system built inside Infusionsoft for nurturing the patient back to my clinic. It's started by a receptionist who enters the details into another web form. So we have another one of those web forms which just kickstarts another system of communication to that particular person. We just put their name, telephone number, and email address into the web form, and boom, Infusionsoft starts talking to them on our behalf. So I don't need to worry about my secretary or a physio remembering to do it today. The system will do it for me. And on average, we win back around about 6 of 10 patients within 3 months. And they always come back better patients because they've either tried some other crappy provider or they're in a worse condition than they were because another 2 months of back pain, they've got even tighter or stiffer, or the chronic pain is, the inflammation is, whatever. So they often come back as better patients. So the win-back system is incredible. System number 3, the never-ending discharge system. So what's this? Well, it's a systematic way of keeping in touch with our patients long after their care finishes. It is a sequence of automated emails pre-written to engage with and constantly connect with patients. On discharge, the patient gets entered into Infusionsoft via another one of these web forms. So this time, it's obviously not the secretary. At the final session, when care is over, that initial phase of care, our therapist will have access to this web form through a link again, through a URL. They'll keep this on their laptop or on their iPad, and they just fill it out. And you can see what we have there. We have some information. So we don't just want to know that they've been discharged. What we want to be able to do is know what circumstance is the discharge. So we will have been speaking to them about other things that we can offer them. Massage packages, orthotics, my book, Pilates classes, etc., maintenance plans, year of care, whatever. So we put that in the primary interest. Then we put some comments for the follow-up team. So Johnny might be telling Vicky, Johnny the therapist might be telling Vicky that this person is very interested in staying with us, or coming back to us in the next few months. And then we'll put a follow-up priority. We'll have high, medium, or low. So if Johnny thinks that this person is a high priority, he's much likely or very likely to buy more sessions from us very quickly. He's classed as a high priority. We can see who's discharge completed by. He hits submit, and then Vicky starts to get all of the information that's been entered into this web form. So Vicky's in my follow-up team, the person who rings out and is one of the most important departments in my clinic. She can get on the phone. She knows the name. She knows what they're interested in buying, and she knows the type or the mindset or the where the person is right now and what else they're looking for. So this is a huge for our cash upsells, and this is how we make probably anything up to $10,000 equivalent at our practice right now because of this one single web form. I promise you, like Infusion, if you know what you're using Infusionsoft for, which is what this webinar is about, to show you how to use Infusionsoft and what's possible for Infusionsoft, and then ultimately what's possible for your business as a result of Infusionsoft, and you do it, there is no debate whether or not it is worth the value. Going with the cheaper providers often costs you significantly more money because of what you can't do. So if you're planning on using this type of thing and you are somebody who gets stuff done, this stuff is powerful for your business and your profits at the end of the month. So Infusionsoft will send an appropriate email to the patient to say, hey, thanks for coming to see us. We really appreciate you. So we're giving some gratitude. But it will also send a task notifier. So that's something that goes to Vicky or Sarah or the appropriate person in my office to remind them to make a phone call to the person. So we make 24-hour and 30-day phone calls, and we class them as quality control calls, and we just ring up and say, hey, how did you do? How did it go? Did you love what we did for you? Etc. And at that point, when they've said, yeah, I had a great experience, thanks very much, we go, okay, well, listen, Johnny said that you were also interested in A, B, or C. So it's an upsell opportunity. And those two calls there are responsible for, right now, my practice, $10,000. If your practice is bigger than mine, it will be more. If it's less, it will be smaller. But I promise you, as your business grows, that figure grows as well if you use this system. The 30-day phone call brings 3 out of 10 patients back to us because we ring them up, and obviously 30 days later, they may not be 100%, and that's all we do is just have that conversation. But the system works because it reminds the people in my office that this task needs to be done, and it will never stop sending them a task reminder until the task is done. This is how you get stuff done. You don't just ring up to the staff member or email a staff member saying, did you make the phone calls? You go inside Infusionsoft and find out if they made the phone calls, because one thing's for sure is Infusionsoft will not have a day off. Your staff member might not be feeling great or might be a bit lousy that day, but Infusionsoft doesn't care. It will keep telling them that Mrs. Smith needs to be called. Do it, and you can see whether or not they've done it. So that's what it starts to look like inside the account. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into the ins and outs, the tech aspect of Infusion, because it really isn't important. What's important is that you know how to use it and what you want from it. This is just the tech aspect of it, and we can provide this type of training for you if you did choose to move forward. But ultimately, this is what happens. These are called campaigns. These are marketing campaigns, and it really starts to help you understand the journey and the flow that a patient goes on. So we've got the start button there. You can see it says needs to be followed up. That a circle in the middle, it says follow up, make phone call. That's telling Vicky or Sarah when that web form gets filled out that I showed you that this person needs a call. needs to be called back tomorrow, needs to be called back next week, etc., etc. Removes them from the sequence when it's done. So you can see the stop button. Until somebody hits stop because the person's been called, they keep getting a reminder to call the person. There's a little bit of tagging going on, and we can use timers to say, hey, after 1 day do this, 2 days do that. So again, this is the kind of tech side of it, and these are the campaigns that you build out inside of Infusionsoft. Do not worry about these. These are the actual easiest aspect of it, and we know how to drop all of these into your Infusionsoft app if you did want to kind of get it. This is about what you can get from Infusionsoft, and if you know that, this technical aspect of it is a doddle. Unfortunately, most people do it the other way around. Most people start here thinking that they need to know the tech aspect of it, and it doesn't produce the results that they want. If you start with what you want from it, the tech becomes very, very easy. There are a lot of people who can do the tech, very few people who understand how to make the strategy all work. So what does this system get for us? It's the more referrals, more friends and family of patients using the information we give them. We can get success stories. We ask people in the emails that we send to them as they get discharged would be willing to come and do a video. We can ask for reviews online. So remember, physio's filled out the form. I've now got my team on the phone to them, but I've also got emails going out now asking for referrals, asking for reviews to be left on Google and Facebook. Connect with us on social media so I can build lifelong relationships. All of this is going on as a result of this discharge system, and we'll give them opportunities to buy other products and services. So the system will go on forever after they get discharged. You can have 12 months worth of emails, 24, whatever you want. And in the different emails that you'll send them, you'll say, hey, you know, did you know that we did massage packages? Hey, did you know that you could get orthotics? Do you know that we do workshops? Do you know that we have health and posture classes? Whatever. It talks to them on our behalf forever. So we can also ask them to come back and see us at 6 and 12 months for a review or a top-up. So every point of the journey, you know, different patients go into the system each day, and obviously when they get to the appropriate 6-month or 12-month phase, they're going to get an email that says, hey, are you ready for a review or a top-up? And my staff get that as well. So they get a task notifier at 6 months that says, Mrs. Smith, she's been gone for 6 months. Do you want to give her a call and see how she's doing? They'll get another one after 12 months that goes, hey, you know, Joe hasn't been in for 12 months. Give him a call and see how he's doing. So we're getting this stuff done. And it's not that the people in your business won't do it. It's that the people in your business don't get reminded to do it regularly. It's that they don't get prompted to do it. Nobody's serving them with that absolute, this has been 12 months. And this is what Infusionsoft lets you do. It's the driving force behind my business, and it helps me to get the best out of the people. You can only leverage two things in business. One is people and one is systems. And this is how you get the best out of both. So why do you need this? Well, here's why. Most physical therapy businesses, the last thing that the patient remembers is the sound of the credit card machine taking their money. So this is my chance to ensure that full value for their money is received and felt. I don't give up on the relationship just because they aren't giving me any money. Now that they are better, I'm using software and I'm using technology to put my people back in front of them and to continue to send them communication pieces through email, through postcard, through direct mail, through whatever, all thanks to Infusionsoft. It also ensures that the first thing that they felt and the last thing that they remember is controlled by me. No matter where I am in the world, remember, I've got my value-added welcome sequence, which has me on video and our staff on video. I'm controlling that initial. Remember, the first impression is the most important. But the thing that they feel at the end is just as important. Most of what goes on in the middle, yeah, they'll be very, they'll talk about that and it's very important. But if you can control the first thing and you control the last thing, those are really the two things that human beings remember when they do interactions with any business. So you can control it thanks to these systems. All right, number 4, key Infusionsoft system number 4 is called past patient reactivation. This system works for us to get more past patients coming back to us on autopilot. After patients get discharged from our care, they also enter. So remember, this form that I told you, the physical therapist fills out the form. And he just has to do the form. It takes him like 3 seconds. And all of this stuff now goes on behind the scenes. So it's not a big job for anybody, because once you set this up, it's just a form getting filled out. 3 seconds. Anybody can do it. We also put them into a 12-month sequence of emails, right? One every 30 days. Now listen, because this is genius. Which tells them about what we call a health awareness campaign, all right? We might be running a health awareness campaign that month. And we will put in different messages and offers that the past patient can get. And we offer them information if they're suffering with anything mentioned in email. So the email might be about back pain. The email might be about knee pain. And what happens is the patient will reply to these emails asking for the different information, such as back pain tips or a report on knee pain or whatever. And when they do, it's a signal to us that they are suffering with something we can help with. So we're able to call them up and we start the conversation. So this system, kicked off by the physio as part of the discharge system, also sends a different email. And as a result of this system, our patients, or they'll obviously tell their friends about it, they come back and see us very frequently for different injuries that may not have done unless we prompted them using Infusionsoft. So does that make sense? Every 30 days, because of Infusionsoft, my patients get an email framed as it's Back Pain Awareness Month at Paul Gough Physio Rooms. We've got some free information that we'd like to give you if you or somebody you know is suffering with back pain. The email goes to them 30 days and then 30 days later about neck pain, and we ask them to reply. When they reply, my secretary jumps on the phone and says, hey, what's going on? Because if they're replying to an email about back pain, they've obviously got a problem that you know how to solve. It's like getting them in the store. Once they're in the store, have a conversation with them about how you can help them. It brings so many people back to the business, it's untrue. Why is it important? Because patients procrastinate over everything, their health included. And sometimes they need to be prompted or a signal to do something and make an easy, fast step. So this system is responsible for the sign that the patients were looking for to start the process of them coming back to see us. And that's when I say the sign. It's quite funny because that's often what patients will say. It's like, well, you sent me that email about back pain. It was like a sign that I had to do something because I'd been waiting to do something for weeks. I just hadn't got around to it. It's like, yeah, it was a sign. Like we put that there on purpose to encourage you, to nudge you to come back and to see us. And it's absolutely responsible for the huge volume of people who come back to see us without us having to do anything except start this system when they are finished our care. So again, remember, that's 2 systems started by 1 web form. 3 seconds, all of this happens. 3 seconds. Anybody can do this. Like I said, it's not the technology that you obsess over. It's what you want the technology to do. How do you want this to play out? How do you want this to impact your patients? That is what this is about and why Infusionsoft is so powerful once you know how to use it. So key Infusionsoft system number 5, systematically reactivating these drop-offs and no-shows that we all get, particularly as you get bigger. If you're a small one-man band right now, you may not have a huge problem with it, but I guarantee as your prices go up and as you grow and as you scale and as you bring more people in, it is a problem just naturally. You know, when they say you can't get staff to care as much as you, or you can't find staff to care as much as you, that's because it doesn't exist. It's a fallacy. It does not exist. So they will never be as in as you are. So the conversations won't be as good as what you provide. The engagement won't be as good as what you provide. So you have to have something that helps you, that counters that. So even if these people do drop off or no-show, you have a system that wins them back. So why is it important? Well, they do naturally get more frequent. And although you can limit it, it's not possible to stop them all. But what you can do is have a system to reach out to them that works for you and is kick-started the moment they do not show. So we use another web form that kickstarts a series of pre-written emails. So this one is done by the secretary, and we communicate with the patient about coming back to us. First of all, we'll ask them if they're okay and tell them we're worried. So you don't just say, hey, we're billing you, we're giving you a $50 bill coming through the post, blah, 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 because they could have had a problem. So we just say, hey, are you okay? And we tell them that we're worried. Can you just get in touch to let us know that you're okay? We offer them simple ways to get back in touch to rebook their treatment, and the emails continue to go out until that person is back on schedule. So we're not chasing. We're not wasting time chasing. Sure, there'll be 1 or 2 phone calls. Again, it'll be kickstarted by task reminders that go to somebody in the office that says, Steve Smith did not show up. Give him a call. But underneath that, we're also able to send text messages and emails. A task reminder goes out that Infusionsoft sends to the appropriate person, and that person is charged with the responsibility to get that person back on schedule. And the automated reminders keep getting sent to that person by Infusionsoft until the person shows back up. Key, you just imagine that if you could even just get 1 person or 2 people every month, depending upon the size of your business, to show back up as a result of this type of system, what would that be worth to you? So if 1 person drops off after 3 sessions who should have had 12, and you're making on average $50 a visit, even if it's 100, let's just keep it at round numbers. There are another 9 sessions there, $900 twice a month, $1,800. So we keep doing the math on how much value. Now your upsell's in place at $10,000. You've got people who are staying on schedule. You've got your no-show cancel rate is down. Like, this stuff seriously adds up. The compound effect of all of these systems to my business is thousands. I would not like to think what my life would be like without Infusionsoft. So number 6, front desk staff training system. This is a big one that not many people ever even consider to use Infusionsoft for something like this. So for me, front desk people are the ones that make the difference, that makes the difference. And most of the objections, the drop-offs and the excuses or resistance to the higher prices clinics want to charge are the result of poor front desk staff training. I have a great saying. Front desk person doesn't cost you $25,000. He or she will cost you $250,000 if they aren't trained to do the job properly. Learned some painful experiences myself, and is why I created the staff training system. So I put all of my all of my staff training videos, and they get delivered to my potential new hires. You know, we've offered them a job and they can't start for 2 weeks. All right, good. We're going to start sending you some videos that we want you to watch before you arrive. You know, I'm going to give you the job. Are you okay to watch some videos before you arrive? Because I need you to show up, start contributing value. I'm a small business. I haven't got time to train you for 3 or 4 weeks. I need you to show up from the moment that I say yes and you agree to it. So we're able to put them into one of these systems. We create a campaign. We put our most important videos, incoming call handling, how we handle drop-offs, how we want patients to be treated and greeted, etc. They're all on video. So we put them inside a campaign and then enter the email address of the new employee, and they will start to receive all of these training videos. It means they can be trained and retrained regularly using this system. It is incredible. It's been the most beautiful thing that I've done. Has contributed significantly to my business. It's an intangible, and most people overlook this type of thing. But again, why keep wasting energy over and over and over and over on training people over and over and over when you can have a system that just sends videos to their inbox and asks them to watch it? And you can, even if you wanted to go all the way in, you can actually check that they have watched it as well. So put all of my videos inside of a vault in a library, and then I just connect that to Infusionsoft, and there's the videos. They just get sent to them. Here's how I want you to handle the incoming call. Here's, this one's for the video, for the physios, how to handle the initial consultation, how to engage with clients in our clinic. We go down to the nth degree of everything. So this means that when I'm away or in another business, my staff are watching trainings done by me, meaning this stuff is getting done in the way that I want it to, whether I'm there or not. So if I need to make a hire, if I'm the other side of the world, I'm in the US or I'm in Australia or I'm in Canada, and we need to hire somebody, we need to let somebody go, or we need to bring somebody in or whatever, we can post the job descriptions and go through whatever we do. And by the way, we use hiring funnels as well. We use Infusionsoft to hire people in that we ask them to do certain tasks. So instead of looking at everybody's CV, and everybody's going through 150 CVs for a job application, we use a hiring funnel. And what that is 3 or 4 tasks that are done on we ask them to do on automation every couple of days, and they only get the next email if they do the first task right. It's incredible. So we can actually hire people using Infusionsoft systems, and we can also train them as well. So 2 great ways of me being able to be out of the country and away from my business, but still hire the people. And I don't have to worry if anything's going on in my business and we need to get people into the business, that the people who come in won't be up to the job. They will, because of this system. So key Infusionsoft system number 7, marketing automation. It's a way of acquiring new patients at your practice without you having to physically do anything. So for example, prospecting to doctors, it's manual labor because you have to keep on doing it. Acquiring the names, email and telephone numbers of new patients, for example, using Facebook, that's automation. That is marketing automation. So there's 2 examples. One would be Facebook, it could be Google, it could be even newspapers. You can get people to respond to a newspaper ad and go to a website and collect data that Infusionsoft will pick for you. And we can also automate asking for referrals. So how do you make this work? All right, I'll give you a little bit of teaching around this. Pick your perfect patient. And Facebook lets you find that specific person based upon their hobbies, their interests, their location, their age, and their gender. You run an ad into the newsfeed of that perfect person that looks something like this. So that's an ad. I've been doing Facebook ads now for a few years. This is my perfect patient. She suffers with neck pain. Isn't necessarily looking for physical therapy in the beginning, so I just offer her some information and I just start the relationship with her. So essentially what I'm doing is exchanging my expertise in the form of a free tips report, and then I ask for their contact details, including name, email, telephone number. This is lead generation. This is how you build businesses. You build businesses independent of doctors using something called lead generation, where we take names and email addresses, find out what's wrong with people and what they want, and then we start relationships with them to show them how we can help them. Infusionsoft sends you the details of the person who made the inquiry. It looks like this. So when my ads run on Facebook, you can see there in the title, this comes from Infusionsoft to my front desk, back pain report from Facebook. So Sue left us her email and her telephone number, and we already know what her problem is. One of the other things I love about Infusionsoft is this thing called behavioral dynamics. It allows me to ask questions like this. So on the opt-in, when people take free information from us, we ask them, what concerns you most about your back pain? And this lady, we give them an option of 3 or 4 things, and this lady tells us that she wants to avoid depending upon painkillers to ease back pain. Now I can send her emails all about painkillers to ease back pain. That's how powerful this is. So instead of sending out generic emails about PT, I can now send Sue emails all about how I can help her to live with less back pain without needing pills. Is she more likely to buy from me than the guy who's just saying I'm a PT, buy from me? Of course she is. So Infusionsoft does this fabulously well. It is a very powerful way of communicating with people about very specific problems, okay? And that's the task reminder that you get from Infusionsoft. So that's a referral. That's what you are looking at there, is a modern day referral. So instead of a fax coming through from a doctor, it now comes through from somebody like Infusionsoft that says, Sue has a problem. Start the relationship with her. There's a telephone number and there's her email. Now I can get 7 or 8, 9, 10 of them every single day. And that's what Infusionsoft does. It takes the name and the email and begins to send a pre-written series of automated emails. And the goal is to nurture the prospect to becoming a patient, a paying patient. We have these nurture systems set up for people with back pain, knee pain, neck pain, sports injuries, ankle pain, etc. Like, we have all of the systems set up. So here's how it works, really. Patient goes to my website, or could do. You can have a look at that, paulgoughphysio.com / I think it's back-pain. Person takes the free report, because that's what most people want. Most people don't go to websites to buy, they go looking for information. Big difference. And it's why most websites don't work, and why most owners are so frustrated with their websites, because it's set up to sell stuff. The most successful websites give people information. Then what happens is, if you look to the left there are all the different web forms. Again, don't get overwhelmed by the techie, that's easy. The one of the web forms you'll be able to see there, it'll say website visitor, third one down. So website visitor connects the web form, fills it out, which is the yes, I want the free form. When the person presses that yellow button, it opens up a pop-up where the guy gives me, or the gal gives me, his name and email address. It goes into the web form there. Infusionsoft delivers the guide, and then as you can see, as you follow it across, all of these little things there, it says month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, etc., etc., etc. And the follow-up emails go on for, right now, I think it's 12 months for back pain. So Infusionsoft then starts to send them 12 months worth of emails. It goes on forever. Because I know some people on my website today not ready to book. They're just starting to ask questions and look for information to solve their problem. Again, do not worry about all of that. We can provide all of that for you if that's what you want. We have pre-written emails, we have pre-written funnels, we can do all this type of stuff for you to get it in. I'm just showing you how it works. When it connects from Facebook off the website, that's what goes on next. The tech aspect of it, do not worry about that. Just worry about the strategy. That's the most important thing. And the second way that we can use it, we can automate asking for referrals. So we don't wait till the end to ask for treatment. The best time to do it is within 72 hours. Now, some people will say, well, how can you ask for something that you haven't done? Well, we already have done something. We made them feel amazing at the first phone call. We made them feel amazing because we afforded them the time to answer their questions, to help them, to understand them, to get to know them. Vicky or Becky or Sarah will have made them feel so special. We want them to be judging us on that, not the PT. So we'll ask them to refer to us because we've already given them an amazing experience. If you like what we've done so far, please tell your friends. Again, I said to you, how you raise prices and how you become incredibly successful in a profession that is essentially a commodity and lots of generalists, you stop asking them to judge you on the thing that everybody else is doing. You ask to be judged on the experience. You go into a league of one. That means you can ask for referrals within 72 hours. At the beginning, they're very delighted that they've made the decision and most likely want somebody else to feel as good as them. So again, don't underestimate that. A lot of patients want to go through physical therapy with somebody else so that they can talk about it. It just feels more comfortable and safer for them. So ask Infusionsoft to ask these new patients for referrals. we offer new patients information. So we don't just say, hey, send your friends. We say, hey, if your friends are suffering, tell them we've got information. And if you have a think about that, how many of your friends actually, or how many of your patients say that they'll tell friends, and they all go out and they do, but how many actually arrive in comparison to the number of people that they're probably telling? Not many in comparison. And that's because it's a big jump for people to make. If you give them information, it makes the jump smaller, makes the bridge. It's a bridge across the water. So we don't really want patients turned into salespeople, and they may actually even be telling them, about how much you are in the absence of the value. So that's why a lot of people, even though they have very good intentions of telling friends, their friends don't show up. So this changes it. So this is a web page I use. You can take a look, paulgoughphysio.com/friends. It's connected to Infusionsoft. And we send this to patients, and we just say, hey, here's what any of you can do. If you're a client of ours, you don't need to refer to us, don't need to sell us to your friends. Just tell them we've got some information and where they can get it. And when they do it, they fill out the form. We get their email and telephone number. Infusionsoft starts the nurturing process. Infusionsoft sends a task to Vicky or Becky, and boom, here presto, before you know it, we're on the phone to these people, and they're coming back to us as well. And then they start to go through the same process. So it's an incredibly powerful way of building a business. The cycle just continues on and on and on and on and on. So one final thing that Infusionsoft can do that very few others can, and it's systematically tracking the vital numbers. So I absolutely need to know what's going on. And if I don't know the numbers, I run the risk of coming back to a ship headed in the wrong direction. So if I do know the numbers, I can make changes fast from a hotel or from a beach or a conference hall or whatever it will be. So this is, again, a screenshot of what it's called a dashboard inside Infusionsoft. And it allows me to see what's going on, the number of new leads. So this will be, for example, Vicky's dashboard. I can see that she needs to make 4 new leads, have made an inquiry yesterday or whatever day it will be. She's got 8 people of high priority. She's got 30 people to call back tomorrow to book an appointment who've agreed. She's got 15 people to make a follow-up call to about orthotics, etc., etc., etc. So these numbers change obviously every half an hour, and if that's towards the end of the day, hopefully a lot of it's going to be at 0. Her Infusionsoft tells her to get these things to 0 before she goes home. If she doesn't, they'll stack up tomorrow, and then we'll just keep telling her to get these to 0. And that is the power of something like Infusionsoft. So we can track the numbers. We can see what's going on well in advance of what's happening in my business. There's the number of back pain leads, so 95 leads to date, Facebook leads month to date 45, 107 people have clicked on emails, back pain new leads in the last 30 days 113, new leads in the last 90 days, etc., etc., etc. Website, so I can see that 35 came off my website because they take free information, and 603 new back pain customers since I put this into play. So if I want to know what's happening with my upsells, so my goal is 100 new cash paying patients every month, and I want to have an upsell target of 20% into something else, just the 80-20 rule of everything. So if we're not hitting the numbers, guess where I go back to? The videos that we've got in the staff training system. So I can see what's going on with the number of orthotics being sold and who is selling them. Critical. There's accountability in my business because of Infusionsoft. So it gives me a snapshot of the business, and it allows me to impact the business from anywhere I am. Remember, it's about growing the business without me having to be there every single day. So I can see this is another screenshot from the dashboard. New private patients to day 4, 102 to month. Total active patients 386, dormant past patients 6,000, etc., etc. So I can shoot an email to either the 386 or the 6,281, whatever. This just allows me to click the blue button, and it will open up a contact list of all of the people that I can communicate with pretty quickly. We got 1 inquiry from the website today, and we've had 50 new inquiries to the website this month. So I can see my business pretty quickly. We've had 21 leads. So 21 people took a free report from Facebook or the website that went to paying patient in the last 7 days. So that's the conversions that we've got. And I can see everything because of Infusionsoft. I don't know that there is another thing out there that does this level of systematic way of running a business. It is incredible. So it's all about tracking the numbers and give you a chance to impact your business in a positive way ahead of time. Infusionsoft lets you do it. So there we go. A recap of the 7 systems you need, plus the time needed to create. I'm going to give you a bit of an idea of how long it would take. So the Welcome to the Clinic sequence probably took me around about 5 days, 5 full days to build out. I did all of this well after I quit being a physio. Obviously now I'm a business owner. I work all day on my business. So having the time, it probably took me 5 days, and that was without clinical time. So 5 solid days to build a welcome sequence. The discharge funnel took me about 3 to 4 days. The reactivation of past patient funnel took me 5 days. The win back campaign was 7 days, so almost a solid week. The no-shows, 2 days. Staff training took me weeks to put that together, and the most powerful one, the marketing automation, took me around about 2 weeks per funnel. So it was 2 weeks for back pain, 2 weeks for knee pain, 2 weeks for neck pain. It took me months to get the whole thing happening in play with your business. So it's important for you to understand the time that goes on into creating these into these funnels, because they don't just happen overnight. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that they will all of a sudden just be there. If you choose to do it on your own, it will take you some time, so factor that in. So those are the 7 things. Alongside number 6, you could probably also have the hiring funnel. That probably took me about a week to get the staff hiring funnel in play. So let's talk about you and how you can get these systems working for you faster. We know it's going to take you some time if you do it on your own. So I can pretty much be sure now that you need to leverage these 7 systems to grow. You know that Infusionsoft works for other PTs like you, and you know that you don't need to be a tech whiz. I wasn't, to make this stuff work for you. And you know that you don't have time to do all of this on your own. So that's why I created this, a done-for-you Infusionsoft service. It is absolutely perfect for PTs who want these systems in their clinic within 30 days. We can drop this stuff into your business within 30 days. You can now hire my team. I have a team of Infusionsoft experts, the people who help me all day long to build this stuff out for clients and keep building out my own application, and give you the support and the training to show you how to use them all. Done for you means we do it. We do it inside 30 days from now on. So do not reinvent the wheel. Like I said, the problem with these softwares is not the software. It's that the people who buy the software don't know what they want from the software. We know how to make this work for you. We already have done it. It's working in my business and dozens and dozens and dozens of other businesses around the world that we've put these systems into play for. So Infusionsoft Customer Relations Management plus these exact systems will transform your business from a daily grind to a systematized, fully automated, and predictably more profitable asset that is a pleasure to own and run. People often ask me, would you ever consider selling your business? And I say, you have to be joking. There isn't anybody on earth who would pay me enough money to justify me selling it, because it is a breeze. The irony is people who don't want to be in business because they have a business that's a mess try to sell a business that is a mess. Now, nobody wants to buy a business that is a mess. And if they do, they ain't going to be paying that much money for it, because they're going to have to come in and sort it out. If you get your business to the side of the water, that the business is very easy to run and easy to manage because of systems, you will never want to sell it, because it keeps paying you the money month after month after month, and you're not having to do as much, even a fraction of the guy across the road who is working like crazy, desperately trying to sell something that is a complete mess. So systems will transform it to a business that is a pleasure to own and run. Now, sure, if you want to sell it, sell it. But I can guarantee you, once you get to the point that this business runs on autopilot, nobody on earth will be able to pay you enough money to ever justify selling it. Reason number 1 for having these types of things. So there are 3 options. Choose which one works best for you. We've got option 1. So this package includes the welcome system created for you, plus you will get 5 sessions of how-to, the technical, the kickstart training with my expert team. So we'll show you how to use it. We'll set the first system up for you. That's option 1, okay? Very simple. If you just want to get going, you just want to dip your toe into the water, it's perfect if you have a lot of time to do the rest on your own. We'll set one of the systems up and we'll show you how to do it. We'll show you how to build the campaigns and all that type of thing. If you've got the time, choose option 1. Option 2, we give you everything listed above, plus you get the win-back system, plus you get the discharge system, plus you get the past patient reactivation system. That's the one where every 30 days you send your past patients a health awareness email and asking them to reply. That in and of itself brings patients back to see you. So we build all this stuff out. We customize the email, we put it for your clinic, your name, etc., etc. If you have not so much time on your hands, you've got a little bit of time, choose option 2. Because obviously that's going to take you a hell of a lot longer to do all of that type of stuff on your own. So, option number 3, this is the complete systems package and includes everything that you've seen on this training. Everything above, plus 3 marketing follow-up funnels. So the nurture funnels, the back pain, the knee pain, or a neck and shoulder. 3 of those things we can put into your business. All right. Again, they took me a couple of weeks for each funnel. We build out the emails. We connect it all up to your website, to your Facebook ads, whatever you need to happen. We will build those 3 funnels. Plus the no-show system, the system that reactivates the people who don't show up. Plus, we'll give you the staff training system complete with video trainings. We'll give you some of my best, most impactful video trainings on how to answer the phone, how we do customer service, how to do the evaluations for your physio. We'll give you those videos and we'll put them into a campaign and create the form for you. So that option 3 is for you if you have no time on your hands at all. If you just want this done in the next 30 days or so, option 3 is the one that you need. All right, so 3 different options for you. If you just want to start and get going and you know Infusionsoft is right for you, choose option 1. The welcome sequence alone lowered our cancellation and no-show rate. It brought it up tremendously as a result of the welcome system. So we'll help you with that. We'll build it for you. We'll put the emails in. We'll do you a cool video. We'll jazz it up. We'll get my team to do it for you so that it's a fabulous welcome to the business for these new patients of yours. Option 2, you're going to get more. If you haven't got much time on your hands, use that one. And option 3, if you just want everything that I've covered today, you've got no time on your hands, but you want it to happen very quickly, then choose option 3. So ultimately, we can do all of this for you so that you can get on and grow your PT clinic while we take the time to do it all for you and set you up for success. So this is for you if you want to make the same money and yet spend more time with your family. You want to be able to grow and scale your practice successfully without even having to be there. Have your name above the door, but have others do the work for you. Infusionsoft is for you if you want to streamline operations so that you can spend more time with your patients, meaning you'll get better results than your competition. You want to open in more locations with ease. I've since opened in 3 more locations, remember. You want to get your business into a position that if you wanted to, you could one day sell it for a handsome 7-figure sum. You are already highly successful, but you want to take things to the next level. Your business is struggling and you want a fast turnaround. You want automated systems in your business to do most of the hard work of growing your business for you. So what's the price? Well, you're going to get access to the global award-winning systems that have helped me to grow from solo clinic owner to 4 clinics with 18 staff, from working all day every day as a therapist to spending 22 weeks of the year in foreign countries with my family, and learning how to create these systems is something that has cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out. And you're getting the exact same systems that have already, this is not does it work, it's just will you do it, that have already helped many of my private clients to have similar results in their business. So the pre-built funnels plus the kickstart training from my team where we show you how to use it starts from just $2,000. That's all it's going to take to get this started for you. Now, the difference that can make to your business, remember, the difference it'll make to your no-show cancel rate, the difference it'll make to the ability to charge higher prices, even if you just keep 2 people on schedule or 2 people are happy to show up, in and of itself, it's going to pay for itself month after month after month. Okay, you'll probably have your money back within month 1. Most people will be already feeling the difference because of Infusionsoft, because of the number of people that stay on schedule, who show up happy, who show up committed, knowing that they've made a right decision. All of the stuff that nobody speaks about, which is the reason that people either drop off or show up. So it's going to cost you just $2,000 to get going with option 1. And best, you'll pay as little as $199 a month to have access to the Infusionsoft CRM and maintain the use of the system. So it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to get going, and the value and the ROI that you get from it. Like I said, most people dispel any myths, dispel anything you're hearing about confusion. The confusion is them, is that they don't know what they want for it. Therefore, they do not know what they can actually get out of it. And that is the problem. If you ever hear anybody say this type of thing is confusing, it's their own way of absolving themselves from not having or not knowing how to learn, or not taking the time to learn to know how to actually use it. You have done that. So hats off to you. Therefore, there is no mistake to be made here. This stuff works. You know how to make it work, and you know that we can do it all for you. So if you want to get going, the best place to go is here. We can build all of these 7 systems into your Infusionsoft application within the next 30 to 60 days. So it's going to be done for you. You just need to go to paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. So paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. All right. Payment plans are available. If you want to spread the cost, we can talk about that on the call as well. You're going to speak to my incredible team who will take the time to talk to you one-on-one. They will answer your questions. They'll talk to you about the payment plans and obviously the other options as well that we have for you. paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call is the place for you to go to get started with these packages. Spreading the cost means that you can pay in smaller installments while we build the systems for you. So do that by going here, paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. You'll fill out a form. Just tell us that you're interested. You'll get sent a link with a calendar or a link to a calendar. You'll make book an appointment time on a day and a time that's convenient to you. And we'll get on a Skype or a phone call with you and we'll talk to you more about how you can get started and how quick we can take you on. So get Infusionsoft and these automated systems working for your business today by going to paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. Fill out the form, get your confirmation email, and then select a time for a discovery call with my Infusionsoft experts. Ask your questions. You're going to come through to my office. It's completely controlled by me and my team. You're not going through to a big call center or department or anything. You are coming through to my office, like literally next door to where I'm recording this training from today. Ask your questions. Then when you are on the call, decide which option suits you best based upon how fast you want it all to happen. If you're interested in option 2 or option 3, again, we'll do that on the call. All right. Prices start from $2,000, and we'll talk to you more about option 2 and option 3 when you come on the call if you don't have the time to do all of this for yourself. So here's what to do next. You've watched this presentation. You know you genuinely want to grow your business so that you can spend more time with family and patients. You know it's Infusionsoft and these automated systems that will help you to do that faster. And you know that Infusionsoft and these 7 systems have already helped other physical therapists just like you. What Infusionsoft and these systems will do for you, it'll help you avoid working harder than you should be. We do not want you to win the rat race. It will allow you to spend more time with family and still make the same money, and it will let you grow and scale your practice without even having to be there. It'll help you to streamline operations so that you can spend more time with your patients or your parents, put your name above the door, but have others to do the work for you, let you open more clinics in more locations with ease, and it'll give you a reliable software technology that leverages automation for rapid growth of your PT clinic. Do not do this on your own. Do not do it with manual labor. Use technology, okay? And use the systems that we have already figured out. I've spent thousands figuring this out, not to mention the time, the years that I've put into figuring out these systems. I can get all of these into your business for you very, very quickly. And it will also help get your PT business into a position so that you could be sold for a handsome 7-figure sum. Ultimately, the done-for-you Infusionsoft service will help you speed up the whole process of creating the right systems to ensure that you hit the ground running and get all of this right first time. Do not mess about. There's some people who will buy Infusionsoft then do nothing for 2 years. We're not going to do this. You are going to get it, and you're going to have these systems working for you, patients feeling the experience, feeling what you're really going to do for them, and you will have the ROI back within 30 days. This stuff's going to happen for you very, very fast. We're not going to mess about. There is no time to lose because this stuff is going to be that powerful for you. So get Infusionsoft and the automated systems working for your business in the next 30 days. Just go to paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. That's the place you need to go right now. Fill out the form, get your confirmation email, and then select a time for a discovery call with my Infusionsoft experts. You're coming to my team. You're coming into my office. You're not going to a big wherever. You are coming into my team, somebody with time for you, somebody who will take the time to get to know you, ask you your questions, answer any questions that you have, and we will make sure that the option that you choose is perfect for you. Everything will be customized for you. All the emails will be written for you. Everything will be done for you. So when you're on the call, decide which options suit you the best based upon how fast you want it all to happen. Really, that's all that's at play here. Do you want this to happen fast or super fast? Do you want your ROI to increase like fast or very fast? Do you want this done for you fast or super fast? Because that's the only decision that you need to make. It's not what are you getting, should you get it, it's just you've already made the decision to get it. It's just how fast you want all of this to happen for you. So if you want to implement the world's best software and have most advanced automated systems that can run your PT business for you, create the type of systems that can consistently and reliably impact your profits, leverage new automation and software technology so that you don't have to work so hard, Discover the very latest leading-edge marketing automation skills to bring breathtaking results to you and your clinic. If you want to streamline operations so that you can spend more time with patients, spend more time with family, and still make the same money, and finally get to feel like you have a business that you are in control of rather than it controlling you, then you need to go to paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. Fill out the form, get your confirmation email, and choose the next best time to talk to my expert team. Ask your questions, then choose the done for you package that works best for you. Okay, there you go, guys. That's the end of the training. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm sure now you can see what's possible for your business and how all of this stuff can impact you. It really isn't confusing. The confusing part has been solved in that I figured it out over the last 2 or 3 years how this can help your business. Like today, we can get going for you on this stuff today. Let's get going. Don't wait, because it's not for debate whether or not it will work for you. It's just, will you make the decision to do it? So head over to paulgough.com/Infusionsoft-call. Tell us which package that you want. Ask any questions that you've got pre-buying or pre-investing, and we'll get it. We'll get them answered for you, and then we'll get you going with building out all of this stuff and all of these amazing 7 systems into your application.